On the 6th of October 2025, a violent clash erupted in the heart of Lagos, specifically around the ECOWAS area of Ojo, as the Airlord cult group launched a brutal attack on their longtime rivals, the Black Axe Confraternity. This wasn't just any skirmish, it was an all-out assault that focused on one man, Ijaya, a well-known and respected figure within the Black Axe. Ijaya, who was also known as CSO, was a graduate of Lagos State University. Despite his affiliation with the Black Axe, he was often described as a peaceful and kind-hearted individual who was well-loved by the community. He was known to be approachable, always offering a helping hand to those around him. Those who lived in his neighborhood often spoke highly of him, describing him as someone who valued calmness and order. His reputation was that of a man who avoided unnecessary conflict, which made the attack on him even more shocking to many. The reasons behind the Airlord's assault on Ijaya remain unclear. Some speculate that it was part of the ongoing and deeply rooted rivalry between the different confraternities in Lagos, particularly the Airlords and the Black Axe. The tensions between the two groups had been escalating for some time, with each side vying for control and influence in various parts of the city. However, the exact motivations behind this particular attack remained a mystery, with no clear explanation as to why Ijaya, a man known for his peaceful nature, was singled out. The attack on Ijaya was swift and deadly. He was struck down in an instant, leaving behind a community shaken by the senseless violence. His death sent ripples of anger and sorrow throughout the Black Axe, and they quickly vowed revenge. Within hours, they struck back, launching a retaliatory attack in the same ECOWAS area of Ojo. Their target was a young man, though his identity was not fully known. Why the young man did not survive the attack, his role or connection to the confraternity remained unclear. The mystery of his death only deepened the tension between the two factions. In the wake of these violent events, the situation became even more volatile. Shortly after the retaliatory attack, a notorious and feared member of the Black Axe, known as Obo, was captured by the Airlords. Obo was a feared figure within the Black Axe, a key member of their infamous hit squad known as 1047. This squad had been responsible for several attacks on the Airlords in the past, and Obo had long been a thorn in their side, often boasting about his plans to carry out more strikes against them. Obo's capture came as a shock to many. He had been seen patrolling the Airlords' territory, possibly spying or preparing for another attack. It was during one of these patrols that the Airlords managed to corner him. What followed was a brutal and relentless assault. Obo fought back fiercely, but in the end, he succumbed to his injuries and lost his life at the hands of his enemies. The series of events that unfolded in the ECOWAS area of Ojo on that October day painted a grim picture of the ongoing violence and chaos that plagued the streets of Lagos. The attack on Ijaya, the retaliatory strike, and the death of Obo were all part of a larger and more complex struggle for power, revenge, and control between two rival cult groups. With each loss, the cycle of violence seemed to deepen, leaving the residents of the area caught in the middle of a war they never asked for. As the days went on, the memories of the bloodshed lingered in the minds of those who lived through it. The quiet neighborhood that had once been a safe haven for Ijaya and his friends was now marked by the scars of violence and loss. The community, still reeling from the events, could only hope that one day the fighting would end, but with the tensions between the Airlords and the Black Axe showing no signs of abating, it seemed unlikely that peace would return anytime soon. On the 18th of October 2025, the Airlord hit squad launched a brutal rampage in the bustling area of Kosoko and Church bus stop in Lagos, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. In the chaos that followed, two individuals were taken down in what seemed like an unprovoked attack. One of the victims was quickly identified as Bobo Jamo, a well-known member of the Black Axe confraternity, adding yet another layer of suspicion and distrust between the two rival groups. Witnesses described the scene with horror, recounting the chilling moment when the Airlord hit squad arrived in a Toyota Sienna. The vehicle, which had been used in previous attacks, was their calling card, a symbol of fear that sent shivers through the neighborhood. It was clear that this was no random act of violence but rather a calculated move in the ongoing battle for dominance between the Airlords and Black Axe. The news of this attack spread quickly, with the locals shaken by the audacity of the Airlords. The fact that it took place in such a public space, near two well-known bus stops, sent a stark message: no one was safe. The violent scene left behind an air of tension that lingered for days. People couldn't help but question the state of security in their community and what the future held. This was just another reminder of how deep-rooted the cult clashes had become in the fabric of Lagos. Then, just days later, on the 18th of October 2025, the Black Axe confraternity launched one of its most daring operations in what seemed like a bold statement of defiance. Their target: an airlord member known as Alhaji Pablo. The location of the attack, however, stunned everyone. It took place inside a Nigerian military barracks in Ojo, Lagos, a location thought to be a secure and protected space. The very fact that such an attack could occur within the confines of an army barracks raised serious questions about the strength and reliability of the country's security forces. Alhaji Pablo, a man by profession a cow butcher, was killed in a seemingly bold move by the Black Axe, struck down in the very market inside the barracks where he operated. This wasn't just a random act of violence, it was a calculated strike deep within what was supposed to be a heavily guarded area. The attack was so audacious that it took everyone by surprise. If an individual could be targeted and taken down in a place like this, a place traditionally seen as safe and secure, it painted a disturbing picture of the unraveling security situation in the country. What was once believed to be a haven for safety was no longer immune to the violent and lawless behavior of these cult groups. The fact that Alhaji Pablo, a member of the Airlords, was killed in such a secure environment revealed just how fragile the situation had become. It exposed the weaknesses within the country's military and security systems, which many had believed to be impenetrable. This daring operation was a grim reminder that no one was truly safe, regardless of where they were or who they knew. It made it clear that the stakes in the ongoing battle between these rival groups had reached new and dangerous heights. While this deadly attack caused shockwaves throughout Lagos, it also became a somber reflection of the state of the security apparatus. People began questioning how long the system could continue to operate under such strained conditions. Was the government truly in control of its own military and law enforcement? Or were criminal organizations growing too powerful, making even the most heavily guarded places vulnerable? In light of these events, it's important to remember the greater lesson that lies beneath the surface of these violent clashes. We must say no to cultism. We must say no to criminal activities that tear apart the fabric of our society. And above all, we must say yes to peace. The ongoing violence and loss of life are tragic reminders of how dangerous these confrontations have become. While some may argue that these attacks are just part of a greater power struggle, the truth remains that they only harm innocent people who find themselves caught in the middle. The cycle of revenge and retaliation between groups like the Airlords and Black Axe continues to escalate, and it's the everyday people who suffer the most. As the violence spreads, it becomes clear that there are no winners in this fight. Only destruction, loss, and devastation. We must all ask ourselves what kind of future we want to see. Do we want to continue down this dark path, or do we want to work together for a safer, more peaceful society? Some stories are hard to share openly, not because they glorify violence, but because they carry painful truths that we are often hesitant to face. These stories are meant to educate, to warn, and to provoke thought about the deeper issues at play in our society. For those who seek a more thorough understanding of these hidden realities, the stories behind the headlines, exclusive content is available for deeper insight. These are stories that delve into the uncomfortable truths, offering lessons about the dangers of criminal activity, the consequences of violence, and the urgent need for change. For those interested in a closer look at these critical issues, we invite you to join our channel membership. As a member, you'll gain access to specially narrated videos that offer a more nuanced understanding of these complex stories. These videos are shared with care, thoughtfulness, and responsibility, offering valuable perspectives on some of the most difficult topics we face today. Click the pinned link in the comments and join our channel membership to access Level 2 content, which will be made available each week. This is your chance to be part of a community dedicated to raising awareness, encouraging dialogue, and ultimately working towards a peaceful future for us all.